it's a panel about standardization. You know, Qualcomm is known for working very hard upstream of standardization in R&D, and then working hard in standardization, but also implementing products. So I will give you some samples of that, but my idea here is to give a couple provocations, perhaps, of what we should be doing going forward as far as standardization is concerned. So you've probably seen this slide 3 or 4 times here already today. But why I'm putting it here is just to remind, and I will build upon what Dr. Wilcock earlier today mentioned about business model and what we should be doing as far as the, I'll be in a minute. But what I'm trying to say is, right now, in order to make the wheels spin, the industry focused on enhanced mobile broadband. We see this tripod all the time, right? Enhanced mobile broadband, URLLC, and massive IoT, great. But in order to make the wheel spin for the first time, we did more of the same, which is have MNOs, buy spectrum, we know how to do equipment, we invest. So that's where we are right now. So what I'm trying to say is the initial step where we are is 5G release 15 plus. We were collectively creative in doing the NSA versus SA story, and things are starting to move and move nicely. Yes, the motivation is mostly commercial, but that's the equilibrium we will find, hopefully. And I'm sure you elaborate more, Colin, in a minute. So it's EMBB, Enhanced Mobile Broadband, what's happening right now. These are smartphones, they are laptops with connectivity, and there'll be CPEs, and fantastic, we know that. But next step, release 16 and 17 and plus, my provocation is what we need to do is to expand the ecosystem. Perhaps going beyond more of the same. It is industrial, it is private networks, IAB backhaul, it's CV2X, so we need to go beyond. So don't think about 6G, it's 5G going wider. It's going into more verticals, it's expanding the ecosystem. So that's my initial provocation. I'll finish with that in a minute. I want to remind that it is our mission as a corporation that's been in this business for 30 years and in the transformation to make this happen. You know, yes, during telecom, there's a lot about commercial. There's a lot about societal, as Dr. Wilcock mentioned a minute ago. But I don't think those two things need to be necessarily orthogonal. There can be 2 vectors pointing forward, and the spatial vector, that is the summation of those vectors, there's a lot of opportunity there. So there's equilibrium to be found. So, so we are so proud that in 30 years being part of an industry that has transformed society. We here have Luis Avelar, living proof of how much this industry has transformed society and can continue to do that, right? So, in our mission as a company, Qualcomm, we've been trying to develop things that can make it real, so it's tangible and you can make the wheel spin, as we're saying. So what you're seeing there is milestones that led us to where we are here. We don't do that alone. Several partners in this room help with it. There is infrastructure guys, carriers, makers, and so we are pushing the envelope all the time. So where are we today? Just very kind of recent milestones. We were able to do 1.4, just 1 year ago, we were like at 1.25 gigabit per second. Then we moved to 4.5. Later, earlier this year, we were able to put millimeter wave and everything that's 5G in a smartphone form factor. And as of late, we put this in a very thin reference design so that can become commercial. So we are in a race to make sure this wheel can spin. It can spin very soon. To the far right of this picture, you see our latest product there to make this real. I'm making a bigger picture here. This is the Snapdragon modem. Make it very big, because if I was holding in my hand, it would be the kind of the nail of my pinky here. That's what it is. And on top of it, you're seeing there a antenna front end for millimeter wave. That problem is also solved. Not solved just by Qualcomm, it's a collective effort, but the thing is, we are doing it. We need to make this fast and make it work. So this is the testament to our efforts in bringing things to market and make the first release 15 wheel spin and make the commercial motivation a reality. That's how it looks. This is a full antenna module for millimeter wave that can fit multiple of these in a smartphone form factor. But, as I was saying in the beginning, my provocation is we need to expand this to new use cases and verticals, and that's the challenge for standardization, the challenge for the industry. We need to make 5G more than what it used to be, just more of the same. So I picked just 2 use cases for the sake of time. One is if we combine the enhanced mobile broadband with the ability to do edge computing, we can do very interesting use cases. And I'll pick one here, next picture. I'm not wearing glasses right now, but there was a very inspirational video earlier this morning from a representative from Japan, where you saw that you need, if we have strong processing at the edge, at the very device, also edge cloud computing. Imagine the very far edge of the network also having very strong processing power. Those 2 things combined, plus the low latency and high capacity of the 5G network, we're looking at that encounter, family reunion as a reality. So we need to provoke that to happen. And from a standardization standpoint, there's already like 3GPP TS 26.118 that is looking at that as VR use cases, and XR with 5G, XR standing for extended reality. So I'm very excited, and I think those are the things we need to explore in the near future. Another case here, you see in this picture, the famous tripod there of UR LLC and EMBB and Massive IoT. The industrial case is an interesting one that can benefit from all those things. So the provocation here is, again, let's look at optimization that to be made in the physical layer and the upper layers as well in release 15 and 16, and go beyond and make those things happen. And that's the challenge for the standardization bodies, for us as a sector as a whole, because we want to go beyond. We need to do more. So I'll stop here, but just by saying our mission is to make 5G wider. Let's expand the ecosystem, make it a bigger addressable market, and mix the commercial motivations with the societal motivations as much as we can, and take our mission with pride. We are in the telecom industry transforming society, and yes, we need to make it economically viable, and we need to be creative. I like the idea of private networks, new ways of funding and giving spectrum and getting more players. I think this is a market, there's opportunity for everybody. And in the standardization front, we need to show the way. So we need to take charge and be proud in doing it as a standardization community. And I also like to give kudos to the 5G organization, because in Brazil, because they are trying that. Those use cases they describe, the needs of the society, it's in agriculture or lack of coverage. Those are things that need to explore, and we need to do more of that and support that as industry. I'll stop here. And proud to be 3 Brazilians making good use of time. We have a very fluid concept of time here in Brazil. I was trying to make my best to use the time in an efficient manner, so I hope I didn't do very bad. Thank you.